look in on him right now. He is currently in 9th place. Again, there will be 2 more rounds of round-robin play tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, which will determine the 6 who make the TV show, which again begins tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 10 p.m. Eastern. You'll see 2 live matches, and then the finals on Sunday, 3 o'clock on ESPN. So let's take a look at how Pete Weber is dealing with that right groin injury.
Boy, you really saw it right there, Rob. You see the little hop there at the foul line, and you never see Pete Weber do that. But keep in mind, as Pete said, you'd have to take him off of the lanes kicking and screaming right now. He is only 64 pins out of that 6th and final spot. A lot of games left in this tournament.
And for more on the Pete Weber situation, we send it back to Mike J.
Gentlemen, just talked to Chris Schlemmer, the Storm ball rep, and dealing with Pete Weber. He said he's going to try to keep his feet slow and compensate by using his upper body to get through games 7 and 8. Even match right now. Rash up 2nd frame. With pin count and a spare, Weber will lead by 1.
Weber, the 48-year-old from St. Ann, Missouri, just outside St. Louis, taking on Shawn Rash in this match. Rash will take care of that spare. Shawn recently moved to the Chicago area with his fiancée.
And Rash currently in 13th. He's 154 out of the 6th and final spot. Remember, the players that are on the outside looking in, they're looking at that 6th spot right now, currently occupied by Chris Barnes at plus 529. That's 529 pins over a 200 average, including bonus pins.
And there are 4 players within 87 pins of that 6th spot currently being held by Chris Barnes. Here is Rash again, top of the 3rd. Little loft on that one as well.
Well, and again, this is what we see typically at the U.S. Open. Players playing the deep inside line because of the very flat oil pattern.
We'll head a little to the right of their match lanes, 29 and 30. A good one going on here between Bill O'Neill and his good buddy, the 2-handed thrower from down under, Jason-Belmonte. Here is O'Neill, your defending U.S. Open champ.
And such an emphasis put on shot making. United States Open, a little extra speed. The ball sails through the end of the pattern, a little too soft. It's not going to hold line. A true emphasis on shot making in this event. See the deep inside line there. Bill O'Neill trying to use a real soft hand to get that bowling ball to push to the right. Unfortunately, that shot never recovered down lane, but converts the single pin spare after going back-to-back open frames in the 1st and 2nd frame.
Here is Jason-Belmonte. Only 1 tour title on his resume. He won the Bowling Foundation Long Island Classic March 29th of '09. A young man from Orange, New South Wales, Australia. He has been throwing it with a lot of loft lately as he gets all 10 to drop there.
And we saw a little bit of this at the World Series of Bowling, Rob, where the lane started to break down and force the players to the extreme deep inside angle. The players with the high rev rate that could loft the left gutter, they had a lot of success, and that's why you're seeing Jason-Belmonte currently in that number 4 position.
Again, a 30-pin bonus if you win your head-to-head game. A 15-pin bonus for both should there be.
Bill O'Neill currently in 3rd, Jason-Belmonte in 4th, but 160 pins separate the 2.
Look how far left Belmo is starting on this one. He is attacking the left gutter with his foot.
And one of the keys to a U.S. Open, Rob, is staying out of trouble and avoiding open frames. You can see the airtime that ball gets, but unfortunately there's not enough lane left to get that bowling ball to recover, leaving the 257. Looking to stay clean All he's trying to do right here is make the baby split, the 2-7, throw the 2-pin into the 5.
And he does. So,
or you can do it that way.
A triple worth of spares in game number 7 of his matchup with Bill O'Neill. Our live coverage of the 68th Lumber Liquidators U.S. Open returns after this.
PBA legend
Upstone, Randy Peterson, Mike Jakubowski. Welcoming you back to the Brunswick Zone Carolina here in North Brunswick, New Jersey. Our continuing live coverage of the U.S. Open, day 1 of 3. Tomorrow night on ESPN2, 10 p.m. Eastern. There's a live look at Greenville, South Carolina's Tommy Jones. He is currently taking on your current tournament leader in Norm Duke over on lanes 27 and 28. 13 tour titles for TJ. A 3rd and a 4th place finish this season thus far for Jones.
I think it's just, I'm sorry, Rob, I think it's just great that for the first time in 52 years, the fans get a glimpse of what it's like during the week just to get to TV. And you see where the players are already standing in front of the bar return. They're into their 7th game of match play tonight. Lane conditions, oil patterns breaking down, forcing the players way in. Tommy Jones already standing in front of the bar return. And just a huge emphasis on what match play is all about, and that's the 30 bonus pins for beating your opponent.
So Jones opened up this game 7 with 3 straight strikes. Since then, some spares for TJ. And the parallel I made today about our coverage, our unprecedented coverage here of match play, is it's the ducks swimming on the water. You know, on Sundays, what you're used to seeing from us is this very clean show, 1v1, everything's clean. But today is kind of what's going on under the water. A lot of action, a lot of moving around, and you get a better sense of just the constant week-long battles these guys go through to make the TV shows. We move now over to lanes 29 and 30. Bill O'Neill taking on Jason-Belmonte.
And with a strike here, Bill O'Neill can take the lead away from Jason-Belmonte midway through this game. Remember, Bill O'Neill opened the 1st and 2nd frame.
So back-to-back jacks for the real deal, Bill O'Neill. O'Neill won last year's U.S. Open, also won last season's Chameleon Championship. O'Neill currently with that plus 712 in 3rd place. Again, the top 6 will make tomorrow night's TV show. 2 more rounds of match play take place tomorrow, so this is kind of kicking off the match play grind.
Norm Duke Tommy Jones match going on right next door to Bill O'Neill. You saw Norm just run a shot out in front of Bill O'Neill, and again, that's part of the excitement of match play.
And another strike for O'Neill, that one in the 6th. This week's Just for Men hair color live forward moment features that man Bill O'Neill, and here he is winning last season's 67th version of the Lumber Liquidators U.S. Open. Took care of Mike Scroggins there for his first career major, won that one 267 to 207. He beat Tommy Jones handily in the semis. O'Neill entered today's match play in 1st place, trying to use that momentum to live forward and successfully defend his U.S. Open title. Again, he started in 1st today. He has dropped slightly to 3rd right now. Strike there for Jason-Belmonte. So 2 good buddies, part of the Rat Pack of the PBA, taking on each other right now over there on lanes 29 and 30.
I think the other thing, when you take a look at the leaderboard, Norm Duke, Tommy Jones, Bill O'Neill, Chris Barnes, these players have a great schematic of Carolier lanes, and it's 80 lanes across, but it's almost like bowling in 4 completely different bowling centers. And remember, in match play, the players are jumping around after each game, and having a good blueprint is a huge advantage.
So still just 1 strike here in game 7 for Jason-Belmonte is he is falling behind quickly to his buddy Bill O'Neill. Talked about Pete Weber and the issues he was having with his right upper thigh groin in the last game, and here he is taking on Shawn Rash over on lanes 23 and 24. A strike here for Pete in the 7th would give him the lead.
You see him just stand up at the foul line on that shot, and it's just an indication of the great talent of Pete Weber. Even though he's not at 100%, he's not going to give up. Watch this. He's going to stand straight up on this shot and still throws 10 in the pit.
Yeah, that's why you're a Hall of Famer. You're able to work through issues like that. We'll keep our eye on Weber and more when we return to Jersey. Open tomorrow night right here on ESPN2, an hour's worth beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern, and then your conclusion to this edition of the U.S. Open Sunday at 3 Eastern on ESPN. 90 minutes worth of coverage right there. Norm Duke, your current tournament leader, taking on Tommy Jones here in game number 7 over on lanes 27 and 28. Duke working off a strike.
Yeah, he's working on a strike, Rob, looking to get back in this match. He leaves a 4-9 split, but great champion. He comes back and converts.
There's your Bear pain relief replay and a pain reducing conversion there by Norm Duke. Norm has had more than his fair share of success at the U.S. Open. Won it all in 2008, and he won it here in this facility. The next year, he came in second to Mike Scroggins. So Duke at plus 855. Your current tournament leader. Again, as we mentioned early on, a very fluid situation. Match play will continue through tomorrow afternoon.
Rob Duke was actually working on 2 strikes when he 4-9'd.
There's our first look at Ryan-Shafer. It's the 7-pin to drop late, the native of Horseheads, New York, taking on John Szczerbinski. And that one over on lanes 21 and 22. There's Szczerbinski watching, former Wichita State All-American. And here's Ryan-Shafer, 4 tour titles, 0 of the majors, but Randy, he has been in the midst of a lot of major hunts.
Yeah, he has 4 second-place finishes in majors and 6 third-place finishes. He knows what it takes to make the telecast for a major, but still looking for that first win.
And we have yet to see him on television this season in the TV finals. Only made 1 show last season. Finished 5th at the one-a-day Dick Weber Open. And only made 1 TV appearance the year before as well. Pretty looking stroke there by Shafer. And we pop back over to lanes 27 and 28. Norm Duke taking on Tommy Jones. Mike J, what's shaking over there on lanes 27 and 28?
Well, Tommy Jones taking a re-rack on 27 after Norm Duke make a 4-9. Norm, incredible way to fire up in the crowd behind him, but Jones can step up in the 10th and shut Duke down.
See the guys pausing, Randy, and looking to their left. A courteous kind of professionalism exists out here when all these lanes are being utilized.
Well, you have to give the pair left to right of you lane courtesy, and that's the entire pair. And that's huge. Tommy Jones now 9 spare. He will shut out Norm Duke. The best Norm Duke can shoot is 223. Tommy Jones 9 spare will shoot 224. And that's huge. Tommy Jones is 128 pins behind Norm Duke in totals right now. That's separated.